Hello viewers, thinking I'm gonna soup up my old riding mower here. I've got a 1978 Sears LT 1136. That stands for lawn tractor. 11 is the horsepower, 36 is the size of the deck. And I already have a snow plow adapted to fit this, and I have plowed with it for a couple of years, but I think what I'd like to do is weld the differential in the transaxle, so you got two tires spinning in the back, and get some better tires up front if I can to help it steer, because you're going to lose some steering when you lock the rear diff like that. And also I bought a new pulley for the see if we can make a new pulley work on the crankshaft so it'll go a little faster. I think right now it'll do about 6. It has like a 3-inch pulley on the front. Well, I put a 6-inch pulley, or I got a 6-inch pulley, so maybe it'll do like 10 miles an hour if I can make that all work. So I guess I'll get started. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to get this pulley off. It has a snap ring up here, and my snap ring pliers aren't quite small enough to fit in the little holes it has. But I did manage to get it to pop up a little, so I'm going to try to gently work it up. Yep, there we go. Don't want to break it or lose it because I don't have another one. You know, I have had this off before too, and I also anti-seized it, so it should just pop right off. There we are. .3/8 on these. As I pull them out, I'll make sure they're all the same length, because if there's some that are longer than others, I might have to make a note of that. Take off the gear shift lever. Alright, now I think I have all the bolts loose. Had a couple here that were buried under some dirt that I didn't see. Okay, well this just, oh yeah. Shifter's gonna stay. Oh, it came out. Okay, now this is important. So, this is what, there's 2 little ball detents on these springs right here. And they fit in these holes, and that's what holds it into gear. So I got one here that fell out when I pulled it apart, and another one here. So we need to make sure when we put this back together, we have those 2 in those springs. And probably what I'll do is maybe put like a pair of vice grips on here to hold this from sliding so they don't fall out while I'm putting the case back together. Looks like when I pulled the top of the case off, I dumped a bunch of dirt in here, so that's nice. So you got your little differential here, and basically you just want to keep these center ones from being able to spin like that. This one in here. So you need to probably weld this gear right here to this gear, and then flip it around. Do the same on this one because there's 2 in here. and then go in the other end here and do the same on the other side. I think that should do it. Okay, I got a lot of the grease cleaned up off these gears that I need to weld together. So I'm just trying to weld this little pinion gear to that one. And there's like, you know, 2 or 3 teeth there I'm gonna try to hit. Same thing over here, and then I'll spin this whole thing around, and there's another gear down there. I gotta do the same thing. I'm just gonna throw something over all this so I don't get welding spatter in there. I have a flux core welder and it has a lot of spatter. Make sure I don't get anything on the axle here. And what I'm really worried about is this ridge. That's basically the bearing where this gear rides inside the case, and I really don't want to get anything on that. But it's going to be tricky because it's so close to where I'm welding. So I'm going to get all this covered up and then see if there's something I can maybe, like something I can hold up right here, like an old license plate or something I can find laying around to try to keep it from getting on that ridge. Okay, so here's what I got going on. Got everything covered. Hopefully none of this catches on fire, but if it does, I got a cup of water there to put on it to put it out. Well, I got it all welded together without catching anything on fire. So now I'm just cleaning up some dirt that I got in here when I pulled that upper case off. Yeah. I guess it'd be a good idea. Well, right now it's like 5 degrees outside. Otherwise, I probably would have took this and power washed the case off. You know, just to make sure I don't get any dirt inside here, but it'll be fine. It's not like it's the space shuttle or anything. So now I'm gonna so I got the 2 check balls back in there. You can see the one right here. Now I'm gonna push it up to hold them in, and hopefully I got it neutral where it's shifted into. Put a pair of vice grips right here to hold it up so they don't fall out while I'm trying to maneuver this thing around. God, my hands are so greasy. Well, I'm going to put a couple bolts in, and then I'm going to make sure it shifts through the gears alright before because those, I'm not sure about those little check balls in there. Hopefully they stay in place. I got the transmission all buttoned up last night. I just need to get a can of brake cleaner and clean all the grease off of everything. But I'm going to move on to the pulley swapping section of this video. Since this thing looks like it's been leaking oil since 1978 out of the bottom seal, I was really counting on it coming loose, because I know these can get stuck on here pretty good. And sure enough, it's coming down. Oh yeah. Alright. I did pull out, I had another crank pulley, but this is off a V-twin and apparently has a bigger crankshaft. So this is a 1 inch. The one off this tractor is only 7/8. So I'm gonna go to the Tractor Supply and get a 7/8 hub, and that'll make my life a lot easier. And then I do have a bigger belt already, so hopefully that'll just work. It's 2 inches bigger than the one that's on it, so hoping that'll just work because I already got it. Alright, now that I got that big greasy mess cleaned off my table, so I went to the Tractor Supply and bought this hub that fits the pulley here. 7/8 diameter with a keyway, and I already kind of test fitted it up there and it's going to work good. So it does have a set screw in here, so if you wanted, you know, you could tighten that down and it would hold it up on the shaft, the crankshaft. I'm going to try to use that bottom bolt that it had originally, and hopefully that'll hold it up in there. So I just got to weld these two together. Probably just going to put a few tacks around here to keep it down straight. Now that I got it fully seated, then I'll just go ahead and weld it around. Probably run my welder about half power, because you don't want to burn through the pulley, but you also want to get good, decent penetration into this hub. So get that welded on real quick, and then we'll be pretty close to putting this thing back together. So got that all welded up in there. Looks pretty good. Pretty good with a flux core. Almost looks like somebody tigged it. Alright, well, I guess this thing's ready to go back up on the mower now. Well, I went ahead and put it all back together. Show you what I got going on down here. So that pulley fit nice. I couldn't have gone any bigger on that pulley size because it's really close to hitting the steering shaft right here. If I would have kicked it out even further, it would have been rubbing against that. I had a 94-inch belt that was still too tight, and I dug around and found I had a 96, and my past self was kind to my future self because I wrote on the belt what size it was. So that was nice of me. I might have to play around with the belt guides. I'm not sure if it's going to kick the belt off or not, because it has a belt guide on that I kind of bent around to make work again, but I don't know if it's, since that pulley, it doesn't have as deep of a V as the original, it might kick the belt. So I might have to come up with something for that, but I'm eager to get it out there and see how fast it'll go, and test out this new lock differential here. So I'm gonna go take it for a ride around in the yard and see how it goes, and I'll probably save the rest of the stuff for another video. I still need to figure out some front tires. I can't find any rims that'll fit those spindles because they're not very long. So all the other rims, if you push them on all the way, the spindle's like not even engaging the outer bearing here. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, and I need to figure out my battery hold down situation so that's not flopping around. Do a little wiring and put the plow back on and see if I can figure out a way to make this hood fit with the plow, because when I've had it on in the past, I just don't have a hood on it because the way I have it bolted on right here, it just won't fit. So I'm gonna take it out in the yard and get some footage of it cruising around and let you know what the top speed is. Oh. Oh, you stupid. So there you go. I would say it does about 10 miles an hour. It's a lot faster than it used to be, so I'm pretty happy with that. And first gear is still pretty slow. I am having a problem with it kicking the belt off the rear pulley on the transmission, which I didn't modify, so I'm not sure. Must be because it's spinning the belt so much faster, it just kicks it off. So I'm gonna have to come up with some belt guides on the front and the back. And then that belt seems to be working good, so next time I'm gonna do that. I'll fix some other stuff up, and hopefully we'll get the plow and some snow and test it out and see how good it plows snow now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.